Okay, you're watching The Money Show on ET now. Time to talk about P2P lending, what it is, what are the challenges associated with it, etc. Vinay Matthews, founder and COO, Fairson.com is with us. Vinay, good evening and thanks so much for touching base. Want to start by telling our viewers what exactly is P2P or peer-to-peer lending exactly, and how does it essentially work?
So P2P is, when people give money to people, it's peer-to-peer lending. This has been happening all this while in our country. People do lend money to people. It's just that it was happening in a very small, in an unscaled manner. So organizations have come together to kind of put scale around this. So earlier also we used to look at anecdotal data to kind of lend money to somebody. Today you have a lot of data available of people through various formats, especially through the digital formats. There are a lot of data available, which helps us, make a decision in terms of who you should lend and who you should not. P2P lending is nothing but people giving money to people, thereby, taking away the middlemen or the banks and the NBFCs away from the transaction. So that way it gets cheaper, the loan gets cheaper for the borrowers, and the lenders are able to make more money than what they otherwise make from the deposits.
So typically, what we understand is that one can earn upwards of 15% or mid double-digit sort of gains as far as per annum returns on P2P lending is concerned. Can you tell us what is the kind of potential it has to sort of earn money or earn profits or returns?
Yeah, absolutely. The returns could be as good as 14% going up to 18%. There are lenders on the platform who made for 24%, 26% returns. And the way it works is that you need to kind of put it out to a large number of borrowers, small amount of money in large number of borrowers to get a decent return. And once you have put that out to a large number of borrowers, it gives you a very stable return, unlike a stock market, which is volatile. This is less volatile than a stock market. Also, the interesting part about this investment is that the returns come back to you, on a monthly basis. For example, if you're invested, let's say 50 lakh rupees on a platform like ours, you get back, 2.5 lakh rupees coming to you every month. Now that's crazy amount of, cash flows coming to you. And this is what banks have been enjoying all this while. Now this has come to people.
When it comes to P2P lending in India, it's a fairly nascent sort of a segment or a lending portfolio of lending. Can you tell us whether it's regulated by the RBI? To what extent is it legal? Because a lot of people, a lot of lay persons out there are not really sure whether it's legal in India or not.
Yes, this is legal. We are an NBFC, a P2P NBFC. We are regulated by RBI. That means RBI can audit us, anytime they want. And the regulation came about last year, 2018. It came about, and we were the first one to get the NBFC license, P2P NBFC license. And since then, we have been operating on this. And lending money is not illegal. One could lend money. There is nothing wrong in lending money. It's just that once you pick up scale and if you make more money than what you're otherwise making, you need to take a license, for lending. Just like, a money lender have to take license to lend money. But in this case, you don't qualify that. You come in as an investor and lend money to people who need money.
You clarified that, Vinay, because there's definitely a lot of lack of clarity when it comes to peer-to-peer lending businesses. Why should retail borrowers approach a peer-to-peer lending company?
Retail borrowers should approach because they get one capital at a cheaper rate than other alternatives that they have. Let's say, for example, if your alternative is a bank, you could get a personal loan on our platform at anywhere between 10 to 12%. Typically, a bank would lend at 12 to 14% or maybe upward to that. You could get on our platform at 10%, 11%, 12%, as low as that. Similarly, a credit card customer who banks would revolve at close to 50%, you could get it at 25% on our platform. So clearly, there is a big benefit for the borrowers to come onto our platform because they get a cheaper rate of interest.
Vinay, broadly, according to you, what are the top 3 benefits for investors in P2P lending?
So one is that you make decent returns. as I said, between 14 to 18%. The platform gives you a lot of insights. Gives you the technology really works for you to mitigate the risk, and there are a lot of ways that we do that by eliminating there is a credit risk that the borrower carries. There is a concentration risk, both in terms of the kind of borrowers that you are approaching and also the locational concentration. So it kind of avoids both. So technology has a huge role, and that's what we provide. That's one. Second is the monthly returns that you get. That's the other benefit. Third is that you're trying to kind of contribute back to people who are less fortunate than what you are. So it's a way to kind of extend yourself to a larger cause of the nation, grow the nation, and all that. So that's also a lot of people come and lend money to people.
Okay, what about the challenges in this domain?
So I think challenges remain the same for all lending companies to get good quality borrowers, and it's the same for us. We are a lending company, so getting good quality borrowers who kind of pay us on a regular basis to our lenders is going to be continuing going to be the challenge for us. And so is the case with all banks and NBFCs. In terms of risk, very clearly. There are risks if that's the line of questioning. So clearly, one is the concentration risk, which means that you should not put all your money in one city. That's how you need to spread it out. That's why we have options for our lenders to kind of put money out to 350 cities. Second concentration risk is a type of borrowers. You try to kind of focus your portfolio around one type of borrower. You should not do that. You should spread it out. So we have different kinds of loan products giving you different kinds of risk returns. So it could be education loan, it could be a Grameen loan, it could be a urban loan, salaried loan, micro loans, SME loans. So different kinds of loans are there with different risk, riding on it. So you should kind of distribute your money to different kinds of borrowers. And third is the credit risk. Credit risk, again, you have different kinds of people riding on different credit risk. One would be at the lowest rate, let's say 10, 12%. One could be at a higher rate, at 36%. So you need to kind of, manage your portfolio with, putting your money, allocating your money in different kinds of credit risk with, picking up at least 500, 600,000 borrowers to mitigate the risk so that you get a good, right portfolio going for you.
Typically, who and when should they approach? What kind of people do you get approached by when it comes to borrowing funds?
So borrowing, I think all kinds of people, come to us. People who typically get access to loans from banks and NBFCs, they come to us. We call them bargain hunters. They get a reduction in their rates up to 2 to 3%. Plus, we also get people who get rejected from banks and NBFCs who come to us. And there are people who otherwise do not get access to funds from anywhere. They go to local money lenders and all, and there is a lot of predatory pricing which happens there. Those set of customers really benefit a lot from us because our pricing is very, very aggressive that way for these customers. And they tend to kind of save a lot of money, but otherwise they would have paid to a money lender or a person who is sitting and doing predatory pricing. So from that point of view, it makes a lot of sense for the borrowers to come onto the platform and lend money or borrow money.
Okay, Vinay, it was a pleasure chatting with you and getting more perspective about what P2P lending is all about and how investors can make the most of it as well. Many thanks for joining us. And with that, it's a wrap on The Money Show. So thank you for the viewers for tuning in and calling us as always. Keep the calls and emails coming.